And again. Epic. Welcome back, guys, to another video, and what we've got for you today is, I think, they're a very special car, and I'd say it's quite possibly one of the best Type Rs in the Honda range, and it's a FD2 Honda Civic Type R. And as you can see, these things are absolutely awesome. You don't see many of them about on the UK roads, even though there are a fair few now, because they've got a bit of a following, going purely because of how epic these cars are. And yeah, it's the Japanese version of the Type R. It's a four-door family saloon, four-seater car. What more could you ask for? High revving engine and all the rest of it, which I'll go through on the actual rest of this video. So yeah, I hope you enjoy the content, guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. We're on Instagram, Performance_Lifestyles, and we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. We've got plenty of videos uploaded, and we've got plenty of content to come, so do click on that bell notification just so you know when we've uploaded another video. And if you'd like your car featured on our channel, drop us an email, pflifestyle@hotmail.com, and we will be more than happy to accommodate. But for today, we've got this absolutely stunning FD2 Civic Type R. Check it out, honestly, these things are mega. So here it is, FD2 Honda Civic Type R. Now, if you're quite familiar with your Hondas, you would have definitely seen these, heard of these, read up about these, watched videos on these, and done all the rest of it, because they are quite possibly one of the best Civic Type Rs they ever made. And it's a lot of people actually do say this is one of the last of the JDM hardcore-ish Type Rs that they made. And I mean, just look at it, you don't see cars around nowadays that look this good. And do bear in mind, this car is 12 years old. It's nothing fancy tech-wise and nothing like that. It is just designed for a purpose, and it does that job perfectly well. Absolutely stunning cars. Honestly, absolutely stunning cars. First thing you obviously notice is them 18-inch white wheels, and what they hide is, even should I say, a big set of Brembo calipers. And this is a must-have on one of these Type Rs. Must-have. And obviously not the conventional style mirrors. These are mounted on the doors, and side skirts, they look a lot fancier and wider than the standard sort of Civics of this sort of shape. And I believe these do actually have a wider rear track on them as well. And this is an actual facelift car, so you do get the different style rear lights. The pre-facelift have round sort of lights, and these are a bit squared up on the tops and the bottoms and stuff. They look a little bit better. And obviously you get the big wing. Now, you need these on these Civic Type Rs. They do help. Everything on this car, every angle, every sort of like lip here, everything serves a purpose on this. Every single thing serves a purpose, and this is just the way Honda have designed them. And even on the front end, you got this like a splitter thing, and it acts as a front splitter, which does a fantastic job. Dark chrome sort of grille with the big red H, which is what these Hondas are known for. Now, the number plate plinth is a little bit dirty. Oh, very dirty actually. But yeah, they've got Type R written on the inside there as well. And just look, I mean, look at this thing. It's an absolute beautiful car. Such a beautiful car. And like I mentioned, this is a facelift car, so it comes with a few different things. Oh, and I believe actually these Type R decals are an optional extra. Now, do correct me if I'm wrong. If you see this car from the side, you'll notice Type R. Not that you probably wouldn't have guessed anyway with the way it looks, but you get what I mean. It's these things are front-wheel drive, 2-litre K20 engines, and 220 horsepower. Or I say 220. A lot of people have actually there's tests that have been carried out on these cars in Japan, and a lot of them actually did produce over 230 horsepower. So, and that's from a 2-litre non-turbocharged car from you know, over a decade ago, which is fantastic. This is one thing that I love about these Civics. They're high revving, good power figures, and they just do an absolutely immense job. They handle perfectly, they drive beautifully. You just cannot get the feel out of a lot of, even the Germans. None of the Germans offer this sort of feel factor when you're driving them. Yes, they may be faster, they may sound a little bit better, but you just don't get that driving experience, and that's what these are all about. Stunning cars. So onto the inside. You open the door and the first thing, you got the Type R kick plate, and this does have the, I'd say, the more desirable interior, which is the red and the black. You do get these with the full black interior, the full red carpets, and with it being a facelift, it's actually got a few things on the steering wheel which should control the stereo, the standard stereo anyway. Obviously the usual climate control stuff. It's a bit warm in here now, so turn this down. AC, and then you got this like a carbon fiber styled center console here around the vents on that side. You got red on the door card, which matches the actual seats, and it's all these little features that actually make such a big difference. And as I mentioned, with this being a facelift car, I'll show you, it also has folding mirrors. Now, it may seem like a really petty minor thing, but the pre-facelift FD2s never had them. And it was always something that you looked at and you thought, most JDM cars, anything out of Japan usually comes with folding mirrors, electrically folding mirrors, and the JDM pre-facelift FD2s never, but these do. And the whole dash layout on these is very similar. If you used to ever see in an FN2, they do look very similar. You know, the speedometer's up there, fuel gauge there, the iVTEC thing there, so as soon as your VTEC kicks in, that it shows you lights up here, orange, I think it is orange, and then a red, and the red dot comes up above this iVTEC sign here. So right in front of you, what you do have is the Rev Counter, the temperature gauge on the left, and obviously a few your things here, handbrake and just your lights, basically your normal dash lights. But the Rev Counter is right in front of you, and just so you know where you're revving at, and it red lines at just, well, 8,500 RPM, and red goes all the way to 9. Now, what other cars do you see around that can do that nowadays? And I can't really name you any. I know you got the previous Honda models, the Type R, DC2s and stuff. They had 10,000 RPM on the Rev Counter, and our very first ever video was a DC2 Integra Type R. And we've also got that was a JDM, but we've also got a UK spec one on our channel, so please do feel free to check them out. They are absolutely mega cars as well. The FD2s are a bit more refined, but they still have that R punch to them and that R feel, and everything is R about them, which is what you want really when you're driving a Type R. They're absolutely fantastic cars. And then obviously your usual standard features again, push button start. That's for your trip computer over there. It does, yeah, shows you outside temperature. As you can see, it's 7 degrees today, so it's not as cold as it has been. Yeah, and this car is still in kilometers an hour as well, so it's not been converted over or nothing. And then you always, every Type R has its plaque here. So you got the Type R plaque. You got obviously the metal gear knob, and these things, with them being actually based on the FD series Honda Civics. I'm just going to turn this down, it's getting a bit hot in here. So they've got all these cubby holes. Now you've got a little compartment here, that's your 12 volt lighter thing, and then you've got cubby hole here, the cover, a little compartment just here, and another cubby hole here. And now there's cup holders in these. Look at that. They thought about these things when they designed them. It was, and then you got a little slot inside here for a pen or something, and obviously your armrest. So there's never a shortage of storage. So if you ever need to store something in here, there's plenty of space. And there's also one above your right knee, just here. So again, there's these things, these are little things that make a difference, especially if you're using them as a daily car. You need somewhere to put your things. There's plenty, ample amounts of room. Normally you look at these sort of R cars and you think, oh, they'll be a bit stripped, a bit bare, they'll miss out a few things. But no, these Honda have actually, they've done a very good job. I'll show you under the bonnet. It's just completely, like I said, it's a completely standard car. So there's nothing big intakes or nothing like that. And then what we'll do is we'll go for a drive, and that's what these cars are, where they really excel. So there it is then, the infamous K20A high revving engine, stock intake, obviously the battery, and with these they have obviously double overhead cam, VTEC, variable time and electronic control technology, where as soon as you hit, I think it's about late 5,000 RPM, the second cam kicks in and you get more power, and that's where the noise gets louder as well. And that's the whole thing with these cars. This is what the VTECs and the Type Rs are all about. I know the newer generation are turbocharged, which I actually previously did have a FK2, and that is, the video for that is on the channel as well, so do check that out. That is a fantastic car. It's brought the Type R feel back that these cars had, EK9s had. EP3s, I think, and FN2s lost a little bit. Well, FN2s completely lost it. EP3s lost it a little bit. But yeah, these have actually still got that feel, and they're a fantastic car. And the FK2s actually brought it back. So yeah, and what Honda have actually decided to do is they put the ECU under the bonnet on these. I'm not too sure why, but it is under that cover. It is safe there, it's waterproof and all the rest of it. And this is the heart of it. This is the masterpiece. This is what the engine that most people, when they do a K swap, then you get yourselves a K20 out of a DC5 or one of these K20A, and you're laughing. Honestly, you are laughing. Many EGs and EFs and EKs, and even I've noticed the other day there was a couple of Clios on sale with K swaps with a K20 in them. And I mean, what more do you want? I personally would love to buy a Lotus Elise with a K series, with a K20. That is my ultimate. That will be like an ultimate car weekend toy. You get the Honda Type R sort of high revving engine with a Elise chassis and body and really, really lightweight sort of frame. So yeah, that would be perfect. But no, these are still a mega car and perfect usable family 4-door saloons. Right, so onto the actual driving experience that these FD2s offer. And honestly, it's if you're looking for a car that's focused, gives you feedback when you're driving it, and obviously is a Honda, high revving Honda, and reliable, the FD2 Civic Type R is probably the right car for you. If you're not interested in all these German stuff, all the luxury and all the gimmicks and stuff, then yeah, the FD2 is a fantastic car. It offers everything that you could possibly want out of a daily car, and you could drive it to the track, drive it around the track, drive it back home, no problems at all. They're an absolutely fantastic car. On the standard suspension, however, this is the only drawback, I think, which is easily rectifiable, but the suspension is very firm for the UK roads, and you'll probably notice me bobbing around in this thing, but yeah, that is just the FD2 suspension. This is how they were. They weren't designed for UK sort of roads purely because it was a JDM only car. But what most people actually do with the FD2s is, and what most importers probably do as well, is you could buy a set of Coney shock absorbers for the rear, because it is only the rears that you need to replace. Get them replaced with Coneys, and perfect. It eliminates all that really stiffness where you're just bobbing along, and as you're driving down the road, it gets rid of all of that. But that aside, these cars are fantastic. The steering is adjustable 4-way, comes out, goes in, up and down, the usual stuff. It's nothing really to mention, but it's not really, I suppose, worth to mention. It's probably worth mentioning because a lot of people think they're probably just fixed purely on the basis that they are a bit of a track sort of car, with a few creature comforts, and this is what makes them livable as a daily. And yeah, this whole driving experience is fantastic. Seating position is very good, and they are very hugging seats. They're not made by Recaro or anything like that. Just like the steering wheel, the previous ones were Momo on the Type Rs, whereas these are, I believe, Honda may design them themselves. So, and the speedometer, you can see that perfectly fine. You've even got like a bit of a, oh yeah, that's it, bleeping away, a button on the dashboard which lightens the dashboard up and dims it, depending on how much of a headache you've got. But yeah, honestly, these things are fantastic. I'm driving it along completely normal now, 6th gear, 1500 RPM and 30 odd miles an hour, and you could not tell that you're driving a car that is it's a capable car. And like I mentioned, they're not turbocharged, hence why In a drag race, they probably don't perform as good as many of the rivals, Germans especially, with turbochargers on them, but these weren't designed for that sort of thing. Stick them on a track, however, and these things will absolutely annihilate most cars. And this is what these cars are known for. The VTEC engages late 5,000 RPM and it revs all the way to 8,500 RPM. Now, if you used to get these mapped Honda to ECU, you know, they'll go over 9,000 RPM, and that is where these are fantastic. Is VTEC's in. Oh, they actually bring out a big grin, big smile on your face every time you drive them. The 6-speed gearbox, limited slip differential, the whole setup is perfect, absolutely perfect. And the FD2 is also, I think, a very good looking car, and I'm sure most people do agree with me on that one. It's a very, very nice looking car. Remember, these cars were first released in the Type R variant in late 2007, early 2008. You know, they're 15 years old in essence, in reality. And like I mentioned, you don't see them around, which is also why they've got that head-turning look about them. And I know in my previous FD2 that I had, my first one, I drove all the way to, can't remember where it was, Inverness, top end of Scotland or somewhere, just to go get that car, and it was a beautiful drive back. First time I ever drove one, and it was fantastic. And the amount of looks these cars get, it's got that head-turning factor, especially from enthusiasts. Non-enthusiasts will just look at it as it's just a white Honda Civic or a Honda Accord. Actually, that was the common one. I got told, is that a Honda Accord? I feel like slapping these people. Come on, man, give your heads a wobble. This is no Accord. This is no Accord. Read what it says on the back. And it's a future classic, the Civic Type R FD2. And again, epic. If you want something exclusive, reliable, fast, handles well, use it anywhere you want, really, track, road, long journeys, FD2 Civic Type R. Take my advice on that one. So this is from first gear now. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. You're probably aware anyway, I love these Hondas. Honda Type Rs, especially the JDM variants, are fantastic cars. I'm on about these old school non-turbo ones. They are simply untouchable. The whole experience is great, and I've driven, alhamdulillah, like a massive variety of cars, and these you still always end up coming back to one of these. The rest can offer you certain things, but these can offer you the whole package. And it's a Honda. They've got the reliability of, as you'd expect from a Honda. Most cars, when you start going into their performance sort of models, the reliability comes down a notch or two, purely because of a different engine. They've got certain weak spots and stuff, but with these, no. The Civic Type Rs, or any Honda Type R, is just great. Absolutely great. So then, folks, I think that is it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Honestly, I've actually enjoyed driving this car. There's not many cars you drive that you actually really enjoy, and these VTECs are absolutely beautiful to drive. Absolutely fantastic. They're great to look at, great to drive. They've got a full package, like I've mentioned on the video. You probably heard me repeat myself numerous times, but just goes to show how much I actually rate these cars. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Performance Lifestyles. Check us out on Instagram, performance_lifestyles, and we're on Facebook as well, Performance Lifestyles. And if you'd like your car featured on the channel, drop us an email at pflifestyle@hotmail.com, and we will be more than happy to accommodate. And as per usual, guys, stay safe, and hopefully we will catch you on the next video.